guys, it's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie, and if we have a look at the charts, oh no, crypto's crashing, that's it, sell. Alright guys, we had a little bit of an incident, let's talk about it, let's see what's going on, nothing too crazy to get worried about. Obviously, if you're new to crypto, this might be pretty intense for you, but we know that crypto is a very volatile space. So if this is your first time checking out the Crypto Zombie channel, definitely get subscribed. And also, yeah, you guys know I do this every single day, and I do feel bad on days like today. So I'm actually going to offer you guys a Chainlink t-shirt if you guys would like it. I got this from the conference. It's a size medium. You guys can see it still has the sticker on it. So if you guys want, drop a comment below and we'll give that away for tomorrow. Also, speaking of Chainlink, they're one of the very few projects that's actually up today, which is very ironic. So that being said, having a look, let's give this a quick refresh live. So we were at 229. All right, we fell about another $1 billion. You can see we are basically all in the red. We have Tether, you know, obviously stable coins are in the green, but mostly, for the most part, every single project is getting hit today. Bitcoin dominance, though, still around 56.4%. So you're not really seeing any shift, really, between the altcoins moving into Bitcoin, moving out of Bitcoin, right? In fact, you're seeing most of it move into the stable coins because people don't really know what's going to go on right now. But you do see Solve is up 17%, Chainlink is up 13%, Orbs, Cosmos, Aurora, ArcBlock, and then we basically just go into the stable coins. And for the most part, we are seeing red. So what the heck happened this morning? Well, as you can see right here, it all started with Bitfinex. We had this massive wick. We came all the way down to about $6,185, which is insane, which means we actually breached our danger zone, right? We went below $6,400, but you can see we barely stayed there. In about 20 minutes, we pulled right back up. And currently now we are sitting around $7,240. So what happened? Well, it looks like somebody put in a $5,000 Bitcoin order, okay? And they put it in at around $6,200, which is crazy. Why would you do that, right? So that was about $36.4 million worth of Bitcoin that got sold at an incredibly low price. So the question is, why that? First of all, who's keeping $36.4 million worth of Bitcoin on an exchange? That's crazy. And then secondly, who actually screws up on an order that big and sends it down? So some people are saying that this could be manipulation. It could just be a weekend, you know, well, we have to rule out the weekend dip because that's just crazy, right? That order. But there are a few different possibilities. So let's have a look. Let's see if this is manipulation and, you know, let's check it out. It also could have been a fat finger or a bot. We'll get into that in just a second. So having a look over here, you could see essentially, if we go on any other exchanges, for example, Coinbase, we only fell to about 6,600. This definitely shows that this was an isolated incident, right? But as we know, we have a lot of bots in crypto, and when the bots pick up other exchanges selling, then they trigger, you know, and it does sort of become this sort of avalanche, right? Like we saw back when Ethereum flash crashed all the way down to, what was it, like $10 or something? That was crazy that day. So it might have been something similar. So is it manipulation? Well, it could be. The first thing, why would somebody do that? Why would somebody want to intentionally crash the markets? Well, what you could do if you really wanted to be sneaky and you had that kind of money, you could potentially crash it on one exchange and then go put in a short, right? With like ridiculous leverage because you know that all these bots are going to end up crashing on other exchanges as well. And you could manipulate that way. That's one possibility, right? The other thing that people are saying is maybe it was just a fat finger mistake, you know, and basically that just means that you have like, the term really is like you have fat fingers. So you hit the wrong button and you sold for the wrong price. Or they're saying it could potentially just be bots glitching. So that's the other solution or possibility. But you can see right here, we are seeing a lot of heavy sells, and you are noticing that the shorts are in the lead right now at around 53%. So we are seeing a little bit of, you know, negative sentiment currently short term. But I want to ask you right now, what do you guys think? Do you think that this was manipulation? You think this was intentionally done for some reason? Or do you think this was honestly some kind of a like fluke, like a mistake, like a fat finger trade or some kind of bots screwing up, right? But like I said, man, that's a lot of Bitcoin. 5,000 Bitcoin at, you know, 36,000. That's a lot. That's a lot, guys. So I don't know your thoughts on that, but I do think that's pretty intense. But let's get back to the actual charts though, because we've been talking about this potential dip that we could have, this potential sell-off, right? And we've been looking at the 2015 chart, but actually I decided let's go way back. Let's go way back, guys. We're all the way back here, and I want to look at this particular time right back in August of 2012 when we had a very, very similar situation to what we're having right now. You can see we had this parabolic sort of run up, and look, right here, we had a 48% dip, okay? And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because if you have a look at this chart, which is basically a chart of all the halvings, but also breaks down the different phases, you can see right here, we consistently go from bull market to bear market to accumulation to expansion to reaccumulation. And currently, if you look at where we are right now in the chart, which is right up in this region right here, it looks like we are in the expansion territory. So what usually happens in the expansion area is we do have these sell-offs. We do have these pullbacks, right? We had the massive pullback that we had in 2015, and now I showed you guys the one that we had here. So will we pull back to that reaccumulation line? That is a possibility. Now, let me tell you why I don't think that this is something to be panicked about, and I don't think that we're gonna drop all the way down to some ridiculously low number, okay? I mean, even if we go back over here, you can see we've still been supported by all of these trends. I mean, we only fell just in this little region right here. We didn't even test 6,400 on anything other than Bitstamp. We didn't get any of these supports. We didn't hit any of these supports. So really, I think this is more of just a fluke than anything. But if we do dive in and have a look, I mean, look at this volume. This volume is insane. And I know 95% of it is wash traded, et cetera, according to the Bitwise report. But you're seeing around $167 billion worth of volume overall. We're at the all-time high of 2017. You were only seeing about, I think it was 84 billion. About 84 billion. So that's a massive increase no matter how you slice it and you dice it. And the other thing I wanted to point out too is we're still holding above all of these on the EMA ribbons, okay? We haven't touched any of these. And as you can see in the past, if we just look at this, whenever we tend to fall underneath the EMA ribbon, that's when we go into extremely bearish territory. Whereas when we tend to stay, above it, that's when we're in bull zone. So you can see right here, we're still above it, guys. It's not like we're having any issues. So I do think it was a fluke. I was expecting a pullback either way. Maybe they were trying to insinuate a faster pullback. Maybe these whale friends all got together and said, hey, let's try to crash it. Could be, possibly, but that is the situation. Now, I want to talk about the positives, though, why we are still in a bull trend, and I'm still very positive. However, we are expecting potential pullback still. Like, we could still retrace a little bit more. That's totally possible. We could see another 20%, 25%, even 30%, okay? I just want to be realistic, but I do think we're still in a bull trend. As you can see right here, Klondike, he wants to remind everybody that there was a gap, and you can see right here, there was a gap in the Bitcoin CME futures chart. So they say its bottom line is located at the $6,420, which is basically what we've been looking at. So this time the gap is very big. So to close one Bitcoin needs to dump for 20%. Okay, interesting what will happen. But remember, CME closes its gap in 9 out of 10 cases. And I just want to point this out. This came out yesterday morning at 9:47 a.m. This is before this even happened. So this is where the conspiracies come in, because he says 9 out of 10 times it closes. We needed about a 20% pullback, right? Now, if we go all the way back here and we actually look at the pullback that we had on Bitstamp, which is where the initial dump actually took place, let's see where we got. 26%. Right? And what's interesting is you were seeing about 15% on the other exchanges. So if you average that together, it's kind of 20%, which is exactly what they said we needed. And hold on, I'll get to this in 1 second. And you can see Josh Rager pointed out that the CME futures gap has officially been filled. So it looks like that was the dip to buy. This is very bullish. Okay, so I hope that kind of ties everything together and closes the whole story so you guys have a better picture of this. It could have been a fat finger trade. Obviously, the weekends, we do have these types of movements. It is a very illiquid market, right? Could have been bot glitches. Chances are, though, it may have been some type of a manipulated event of some sort, okay? As you can see, we needed to get them closed. They got closed, and now it's looking very bullish. One other thing that I do want to point out is Willy Woo. He's saying that we are still above the 200-day moving average, and he says if we stay above this for any sizable amount of time, roughly, let's say around 8 weeks or so, well, then this definitely puts us in bull season, and he says 99%. 99%. There's always that one chance that we're not, right? But 99%. So there are so many things still pointing towards a bullish trend. And let's be honest, today's Friday, right? If you're out there dollar cost averaging and you just got your paycheck today, wow. These are those opportunities that you look for, because once we have that 20K Bitcoin, 50K Bitcoin again, we're going to wish we had opportunities like this to accumulate low again. Congratulations to anybody that was able to buy that wick though. Wow, that was crazy. So the one thing I do want to point out, though, is maybe if you're watching this and you've been around since 2017, 2018, 2019, you may have a different perspective on the market, right? But I want to let everybody know that, I experienced the 2017 bull run and I experienced the 2018 bear market. And I'll tell you something, even during the bull run, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, okay? There were a lot of moments that felt really scary with really intense drops. Now, granted, when we look at them now, they look like, drops of water in the bucket. But when they were happening, it was actually pretty volatile, right? And I just wanted to show you guys that you could see right here, these are and this is just during the bull run. This is only statistics from 2017. But look at this. You could see even during a massive upwards trend, like where we were just going, to the moon, we still had these crazy volatile swings. I mean, look at this. The highest one that we had was 25.49%, and that was literally in one day. It was in one day it was December 8th to December 9th. We had a negative 25% drop, okay? And you can see we had some other ones in here too. We had 21%, 20%, 19%, tons of them, right? So it was not a straight, trajectory to the moon. It was very rough. It was very rocky. So even if, we are in a bull trend, there's still going to be some volatile movements. And as you can see right here, 25%, that's basically what we just had, was 25% on Bitfinex, or excuse me, Bitstamp, right? So very common to see things like this, even in a bull trend. So I just wanted to say that, okay? So that is basically that. Moving on. Now, if you guys are paying attention to, the altcoins, they're getting wrecked today. However, one altcoin that is just doing absolutely well is Matic. Now, obviously, Matic has had a slight pullback, since it hit the high right here. But we were also noticing that there was sort of this wedge forming, and it did break out. This pretty much is a very good, it's funny because, some people say like, oh, wedges, triangles, but they play out, they really play out. So that's what's happening right now. So if you're in Matic, congratulations. But also there was some news that came out from Decentraland. They were talking about their scaling solution, and they are going to be using Matic as well. Now, Decentraland is sort of like a Ready Player One. It's like a virtual world. But if you're in this virtual world, you're obviously going to want things to move very fast, right? You're going to want the virtual reality to be as close to what you're experiencing in the real world as possible. You don't want it lagging. You don't want to wait for blockchain confirmations. So as you can see right here, they said that they knew they would have to conduct these transactions fast because you have an ecosystem with NFTs, you have estates, picture frames, avatars, wearable clothing, right? All these different things that need to be moving at very, very fast pace. So they say we recently bought a Teslaland parcel in just milliseconds using Matic. So Matic has been able to do this in milliseconds. So they say unlike other chains with mirrored tokens like POA, if the Matic sidechain's proof of stake mechanism is attacked, the deposits and withdrawals of the mirrored tokens on the sidechain go through the Plasma contract. This achieves the security of Plasma with data withholding incentives of proof of stake. So, personally, guys, for me, Matic is definitely one of these projects that is going to have, the utility depends definitely on, not the utility. The utility is just to basically be a proof of stake sidechain. But as far as the value of the token goes, it is going to matter how the ecosystem grows. But you're already seeing Decentraland use it, and you're already seeing that they're going to be used in Coinbase, their wallet as well. Not to mention that these guys are the inventors of Dagger, which is a really great tool on the Ethereum network. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. Also, one altcoin that's taking a hit today is Blockport, down 84%. Let's see if it recovered a little bit since this morning. It recovered about a percentage. Yeah. Yeah. So it had some really bad news. You could see here was the massive drop off. So basically what happened is they sent this out to the community and they said, though very unfortunate, after 1 month of running our STO, we did not reach the threshold amount of €1,000,000 that we set as the soft cap. All investors that participated in the STO will therefore receive their investment amount worth of euro back, and the issuance of BPS tokens will not take place. So, they say that they're passionately pursuing Blockport's goals and visions. The current situation requires us to take the platform offline at the end of this month, and the core team of Blockport will focus its resources on developing the platform in stealth mode. So some people are saying, is this like an exit? I don't know. I mean, they're saying that they're going to still keep working on it, right? So at this point, Blockport is not able to generate sufficient revenue to support a full-scale operation, and therefore will now focus on expanding the platform. The current platform will go offline at the end of the month and into development mode. In the coming weeks, we will provide a detailed announcement specifically for all Blockport users about how they can withdraw their funds. So, once again, guys, this is exactly what I say on the channel all the time. I mean, yeah, you could find like altcoin gems and stuff like that, but, these altcoins are very, very risky. Even Matic right now is up an astronomical amount. That might be due for a potential correction. And not even just like as far as the technicals go, but sometimes projects struggle. And, I see a lot of people running around like, oh, that's an exit scam. It's not a scam, guys. Like sometimes projects just don't have funds or they mismanage money, right? And it's just a bad startup, right? It's, most businesses go under within their first few years. It's not uncommon to see that happen even faster in crypto. Granted that you can have even faster fluctuations in price. So, if these guys are doing ICOs and they're holding tokens or whatever, and we saw Ethereum fall from 1,400 all the way down to, below, I think Ethereum was below $100, right? At one point. So imagine if you misallocated those funds or you sold at a wrong time. So just keep that in mind, guys. It's very crazy out there. Be very careful. And when you're investing in altcoins, like, not to say that anyone's a scam, but you have to be careful. Okay. I just thought it'd be a good time to bring it up, now that we are kind of getting in that bullish sentiment, and I do see people eventually, putting out more like, top altcoin picks and stuff. So just be safe out there, guys. All right. Now, I also do want to talk about something. Now, there was a rumor that Deloitte was going to switch all of their stuff completely to VeChain. Well, it looks like they're actually going to still be using Ethereum. They might be deploying some stuff on VeChain, but they do say that about 50% of their projects are going to be built on Ethereum. They're just looking to have multi-platform development. In other words, they don't want to get stuck, just developing on one platform, right? They want to have all their options open. So they say that they're going to launch a very big project at the end of the year on Ethereum. So I just wanted to clear that up. Also, we do have a little bit more Bitfinex Tether type news. So you can see right here that Tether has been ordered to freeze transfers to Bitfinex by the New York Supreme Court. And right here, basically, these are the 4 key takeaways of what's going on. So number 1 is that Tether can't loan any assets to Bitfinex or other parties except in the normal course of conducting its business. The second is that Tether cannot distribute any funds from its reserves to executives, employees, or any other individuals except for payroll and normal contractor, consultant, and vendor payments. Number 3 is neither Bitfinex nor Tether are allowed to modify in any way documents asked for in the New York Attorney General's original subpoenas. And number 4, the injunction will expire in 90 days, but the Attorney General's office can petition the court to extend it 2 weeks before then. So probably the biggest key takeaway right here is they say, we believe that the court's decision today leaves no doubt that both Tether and Bitfinex are entitled to run their businesses in ordinary course, even during the short period when this now preliminary injunction is in place. So essentially, I mean, they're actually saying like, maybe they're legit, keep running the operations. We know that the issue is more with crypto capital, having the funds tied up. We have to see what that situation's all about. So I guess short term, this could potentially be good news depending on how you flip it, but I just wanted to bring that to you guys as well. Also, really quick, Amazon has filed a US patent for a proof of work system that uses cryptography. So the patent filed on May 14th describes techniques for using the generation of Merkle trees as a solution to proof of work challenge. Yeah, so you can see right here, they say, while the patent makes no specific reference to blockchain or crypto, it seems that the combination of Merkle trees with proof of work concept could suggest that Amazon is moving towards further developments in the area. Also, don't forget, in addition to this, Amazon subsidiary Whole Foods announced this week that it is going to be accepting payments via Bitcoin, Ethereum, Gemini US dollar, and Bitcoin Cash through the Flexa platform. And finally, guys, you know, I love to end on some good news. So check this out, guys. 2020 presidential candidate Andrew Yang has said that blockchain should be a big part of the United States future. He said this at Consensus, and to quote him, he said, "I believe that blockchain needs to be a big part of our future. If I'm in the White House, oh boy, are we going to have some fun in terms of the cryptocurrency community." So I think we know who everyone's voting for in 2020, especially if you're a crypto guy. So that being said, I want to say thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Everyone that's been liking, subscribing, and commenting, you guys rock. Also, the Ledger Nano X's should be out for shipment. I haven't received mine yet. You guys know, by the way, we do give away Ledgers every day on the channel, in case you don't know that by now. Every week, once a week. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it. I know they ship from France, so I'm obviously in the US. I'm probably going to get mine hopefully maybe today or tomorrow. I'm really excited. I can't wait to check it out. So yeah, and when I get it, let me know if you guys want me to do like an unboxing. Honestly, I'm thinking about doing an instructional tutorial video anyway, just because my old video was how to use IDEX, but I've never actually done a Ledger setup tutorial type video, so it could be good. Let me know if you guys are interested. Also, if you guys want the chain link shirt size medium, let me know. Also, let me know what you think. Is this manipulation? Was it an accident? Very curious to hear what you have to say. So that being said, I want to say thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting, make sure to turn on that bell notification so you get these updates immediately. Sometimes they could be pretty time sensitive. And that is it for me today. So I hope you enjoy your weekend. Great opportunity to dollar cost average. Can we go lower? Obviously, we could go lower, but, you know, just be careful out there, and we will have to just pay close attention to what's going on. Let's hop over real quick. Let's see what's going on. So we're sitting at around, all right, 7,196, and this is over on Coinbase. So looks like the markets are still in a bit of a stir. Today might be an interesting day. We're going to keep our eyes on it. There may be a little bit more volatility ahead. And don't forget, we're still calling for a potential 40% pullback. Okay, so we've already seen about 15% across the board on the other exchanges. There may be another, percentage drop before we have that, blast off to the moon. Previously, even though what happens in the past doesn't always mean it's going to repeat again, but history does tend to rhyme. And that being said, I'm out of here. I've been talking for too long. I'm done. My name is K-Dub. I freaking love you guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.